Hello there guys, before we get into today's episode, just want to say a massive sorry about not uploading on Monday. I was taken ill over the weekend, nothing serious but I didn't want to risk it, but we are back today. Today's episode consists of looking back at the Tottenham game in the league, looking back at the Preston game in the EFL Cup, and we have two games coming up today. Stoke away, Leicester at home, and a very, very slight tactical tweak in both tactics as well. As always, roll the titles. So we're going to get straight into it. We followed up the 2-0 loss at Manchester United with a 0-0 home draw against Tottenham. Very, very even game, but we didn't have that many shots on target. We kind of restricted them and kind of really played kind of defensively as such. And there was a few tactical tweaks that I made from this game, which will go into the Stoke game, but then also made a brand new tactic for the Preston game, which is next. I say we beat them comfortably 4-1 with a massively highly rotated side. So you can see here Luke McGee in goal, Reece Burke, Pennington, Lee Evans, Lewis Thompson, Lookman had his first game, and also Jason Cummings up top. But this is the formation that we picked. So I've actually brought in a 4-4-1-1 with Lookman and De Silva Lopez as wingers, Evans as the box-to-box, Thompson as a deep line playmaker, a flat back four, so central defenders and full backs as well. Attacking midfielder and Andres Pereira and Jason Cummings as the advanced forward. And it got us a 4-1 win against Preston. Leo opening the scoring, Lee Evans making it 2. Jason Cummings putting us 3-0 up. They brought one back with Admiral Musquay on the 66th minute, and then Jermaine Anderson with an absolute rocket on the 73rd minute, around about 25 yards out. He absolutely lamped it in the bottom corner. They're literally the only two games that we've played since the Man United loss. In the league now, that puts us 16th. So we are kind of fighting for our lives. Two games played, 1 win, 1 draw, but we have played 2 out of the top 6 in the last few years in real life. So hopefully the next few games are going to be a little bit easier for us. So we've got Stoke and Leicester coming up, West Ham, West Brom, Watford, Southampton. So fairly easier games than anybody regarding the top 6. We do have the EFL third round draw. That's going to be the MK Dons. I'm not going to bring you that in a live com. We'll talk about what's coming next at a later date. But today we play Stoke away at the Bet365 Stadium, and let's see what I'm talking about with regards to the tactic. So as you can see here, we've taken the central defenders off of the ball playing defender and actually just put them back as a normal central defender, because what I found was with the ball playing defender, they were playing riskier passes, which basically we weren't controlling the ball, weren't controlling the play, and we're just giving the opposition more and more chances to attack us. So pushed them back to central defending and just kind of left it as is. I don't want them tackling hard. I want them to be on their feet and not really pressing as much. I've also taken Chris Forrester off of the central midfielder defend to actually a deep line playmaker. So if you look at how many players can actually play in that role and play actually better than the central midfielder, so Marcus Llorente, Jermaine Anderson, Chris Forrester, Lee Evans, Leo can all play in that role really, really easily. So what I've also done is switched over their training methods as well. So instead of playing a central midfield defend, they're actually going to be training in a deep line playmaker as well. The rest of it is exactly the same. Just those few little tweaks have actually helped us. They helped us against Tottenham. And then this is the 4-4-1-1 that we've got as well. So wingers on both sides, deep line playmaker and a box-to-box midfielder and Jermaine Anderson. And then we've got a flat back 4, and the goalkeeper's just a normal goalkeeper as well. But I'm going to play the 4-2-3-1 against Stoke today, but we can always divert it to the 4-4-1-1 if we are getting overrun. And this is the team that's going to start. So we've got Joe Wildsmith in goal, Andre Wisdom, Holding, Baldwin and Kingsley at left back. Chris Forrester's a deep line playmaker, Jermaine Anderson's a box-to-box midfielder, Sacco Pereira, Clayton as the attacking midfielder, and this is going to be the last chance saloon really for Dwight Gale to start scoring goals. He's been really, really underperforming in the league, as you can see here. Two appearances, only had a 6.45. I'm going slightly easier on him purely because he's played against Manchester United and Tottenham. So I am going to ease up on him a little bit, but he's got only a few more opportunities really before someone like Zach Clough or Jason Cummings really come into their own. They're kind of hitting 8.6, 8.0 and 8.6 his last 5 games. So They're really, really in good form. So let's get forward. Let's move forward and let's go on to play Stoke. They are favourites, 4-6 favourites. We are 7-2, and the draw is 9-4. Zach Clough is our key man. He's on the bench, but they've got Mario Balotelli. Let's see who they're lining up with. Send assistant for that. So Balotelli starts up front for Stoke. Signed for 12.5 million from Nice, and he's already on an 8.25 for the season. 4 goals in 2 appearances, 1 player of the match. Phenomenal start for Mario. They've got Sobby they're playing a 4-4-1-1. They've got Sobby in the attacking midfield role. They've got Shaqiri still. Brought in Sissoko. They bought him from Tottenham. Bought him for 7.75 million. So Tottenham making a massive loss on that. They have got the wonder kid, Yuri Tielemans. He is an absolute beast in this game. They did sign him a couple of years ago, £18 million already. Arnautovic still there, Borthwick, Jackson, Shawcross, Nikulu, Cameron, Martinez in goal. So they've lost Butland, and this is a very big game for me because I do live in Stoke. Peterborough definitely my team, 100%. Then Stoke are one or two teams that are up here, so this is why I've showed this one absolutely live. And we're going up with a 4-2-3-1. So let's see what we can do against the Potters. And we're also starting a standard mentality as well. That's another thing I've changed in the tactics. So I didn't think we were controlling games as much as we should do, purely because we're playing against better players and they're going to have better technical ability, better passing technique, first touch. So just dropped it down to standard, and it does seem to be working in our favour, which is good to see. Opening kind of 10 minutes, nothing's really happened. Stoke see themselves in 9th after 3 games. Here we go now. Sissoko, first real opportunity, launches into that channel on the left hand side to Balotelli. Holding's got to get out there, but comes inside. Baldwin kind of puts him off there, and Wildsmith, the shot goes straight down Wildsmith's throat, and it's a comfortable save for him, really. I think Baldwin put Mario off. Haven't really done much in the game at all as of yet. As I said, Dwight Gale not really playing the role that I thought he would when we brought him back to the club. Coming up to our first opportunity now going forward. Sacco on this left-hand side, keeping someone like Marcus Maddison out of the team. Sacco now going to take on Jeff Cameron, but Cameron puts him in his place and tackles him, and they keep control of the ball. Launch it up to Mario, but Baldwin's got a big header up there. Forrester trying to nick that ball off Sobby. Sobby plays it through to Mario, but again, Rob Holding stops him. Arnautovic, this is getting very, very tense now. Sissoko through to Sobby. Sobby into the goal, and that's 1-0 to the Potters coming into the last 5 minutes of the half. Has been coming. We haven't really created any chances at all. We've had more possession. We've had better pass completion as well, but haven't really done anything with it going forward. And Stoke make it 1-0 to them. Sobby now with the goal. So Arnautovic going to play it into Sissoko. Sissoko through ball to Sobby. No one really closing him down. Wildsmith should have been doing better there. And it's Stoke 1, Peterborough United 0. I'm expecting a better showing in the second half. Dwight Gale 6.3. He's going to be on the chopping block going forward if he doesn't produce in this next kind of 10-15 minutes of the second half. Chris Forrester, I think he's probably a little bit better in that deep line playmaker role. Pereira now with the corner up to Max Clayton, comes out to Sacco. Sacco to Kingsley. Kingsley is going to take his man on. Tries to get the ball in, out to Baldwin. Baldwin back to Kingsley. Needs to turn that player. Jeff Cameron really tight on Kingsley there, and he's loose pass back to Baldwin, up to Balotelli now, but that's a great tackle by Chrissy Forrester. Driving forward to Pereira. It's a poor pass over to, meant to go to Sacco, but Shaqiri cuts that ball out. We have had a shot on target first kind of 5 minutes of the half, and that's a massive ball up to Mario. Takes 3 of our guys to really kind of get hold of him. Over to Shaqiri. Shaqiri now into Mario. Mario, he's made it 2-0 to Stoke. We're getting absolutely dominated in this, and I'm really unsure of how we're going to make sure this can get turned around. So here we go. Sobby now into Shaqiri. Fairly decent setup, but no one's tight enough to Mario, and he slips that in to the near post. And that's 2-0 to Stoke. Cummins is going to come on as the attacking midfielder, but I'm going to put him up to a shadow striker. I'm going to bring Zach Clough as the main striker. And Chris Forrester has got to come off. He's not playing at all well. I'm going to bring Leo on in that deep line playmaker role. Bit more legs in the midfield. And let's see if those 3 changes, literally first 15 minutes of the second half gone, nothing's changed, nothing's happened, and we really need to get back into this game as soon as we can. Only had 2 shots in the whole entire game, but we've had more possession, more pass completion, not good enough. Arnautovic from a free kick, but Clayton makes a tackle on Sissoko. Cummins now going to launch a counter-attack. Going to take on Shawcross, but Shawcross is an absolute beast in that tackle. Tielemans now alongside Jermaine Anderson, but poor touch from Tielemans, and Anderson gets that forward. Trying to play that ball forward, Andre Wisdom was to Max Clayton. Just need a little bit more patience in our play. Wisdom now over to Max Clayton. Max Clayton's going to try and take on, who's number 13 for Stoke? He was going to try and take on Borthwick Jackson, but again, taking too much time on the ball. Into Clough. Clough now through to Cummins. Cummins, oh, what a save by Martins. Great hit by Jason Cummins. Lovely through ball from Zach Clough. That quality that he does have. And almost getting back into the game after those 3 changes have been made. We're not a million miles away from kind of getting out, and just takes a little bit of a run to get going. We have come slowly into this game. Sobby now from a free kick from Mario, quick free kick, but we've just pushed him a little bit wide. Mario Balotelli into the goal, and that's his hat-trick. He's on scintillating form. Lovely assist for Sobby there. That's 3-0 to Stoke. Sobby, quick free kick from Mario. Mario keeps his run going. I think that was Kingsley tried to intercept that really, really quickly, but Mario too clinical in that position. I think Stoke should be pushing at the top of the league. Yeah, they're 4th at the top of the league and looking to potentially go into Europe, whether it's Champions League or the Europa League. Shaqiri now into Mario again. Oh, side netting. We've been dominated this game, and we've had a hard start to the season. So Tottenham, Man United, and now Stoke. And it doesn't get any easier. We've got Leicester next, and that's Stoke 3, Peterborough United 0. Knew this was going to be tough. We are unlucky. We have been unlucky in the first kind of 3 or 4 games. I think Dwight Gale not doing enough. We are going to be looking to move him out and possibly bring in Jason Cummins in that attacking midfielder role and bring Zach Clough up top, or bring João Teixeira into that attacking midfielder role and put Clough or Cummins up top. But next game is in a couple of weeks' time, because we have got an international break, and it's Leicester at home. So see you in just 2 seconds. Leicester are up next after the very, very long international break. This is the team. Few changes, few tweaks here and there. So Wildsmith is going to stay in goal. Kingsley, Holding, Baldwin and Wisdom at the other back line. Forrester and Anderson in the middle. Sacco, Teixeira comes in, and Silva Lopez pushes on that right-hand side. And it's Jason Cummins up top instead of Dwight Gale. Dwight Gale misses out completely. Going to leave him out, going to drop him, see what comes of it. On the bench, we've got Pennington, Lorente, Madison, Pereira, Thompson, Lookman and Zach Clough. So let's see how we get on against the previous Premier League champions. Let's see who they've got. So Zila's still in goal. Their back four's completely changed. Musa's still there. Andy King's still there. Amate and Gray. Front line's different. They've got Schmeichel on the bench, Huth, Mahrez on the bench, Slimani, Vardy, Christian Fuchs. So pretty much an all new Leicester City side from the one that won the league a few years back. Going to try and really see if they can prove a point, and let's see what we can do here. Going to really rile them up, see what we can push out. Hopefully, someone like Jason Cummins coming in should give us the X factor, should give us the difference. This point already gets us out of the bottom 3. As I said, looking for 40 points minimum. 40 points this season to make us safe. Gone back up to control. Duarte now with his free kick, trying to find Zapata, I think that was, coming in. Amate's going to pick that ball up. Out to Gray. Already on the back foot here, the Posh. Holding, great interception there from Dolberg. Holding now is going to launch it up to Zhao. Loads of space in this middle. Up to Cummins. These two are, brilliant for us in the Championship. Cummins now, high wide and not the greatest shot, but if Teixeira and Cummins can have that partnership as they did in the Championship in the Premier League, it could get us the goals that we need to survive. Holding, great header, but it comes out to Musa. Bags of pace down this left-hand side, cutting inside. That's not a very good shot either. So we have had the better of the game so far. 4 shots, 2 on target. Pass completion not the best, but more possession. These teams round us are going to be the ones that are going to be key games for us to survive. Wisdom cuts out that throw in. Anderson now back to Wisdom. Patient play from the boys, and we launching that up to Cummins. Not the biggest striker, and Dolberg comes back and takes that ball off Zhao, but Zhao, great tackle, pushes it through to Sacco. Sacco not really doing much on that left hand side. I might have to see if Marcus comes in and we just go back to the players that we know and love. But Holding, gets rid of that ball. Teixeira over to Sacco. Sacco now surrounded by players. 4 players really kind of taking the ball off Sacco there, and he retaliates. And I think he's been two-footed there. I think he's two-footed him. And he's off. Sacco is off. Coming into the last 10 minutes of the half, and we're down to 10 men. Not ideal. Can Teixeira play over there? You think he can. Yeah, he can play as a winger, but he's not suited for it, really, to be fair. I'll play him there for a little bit. I do have Lookman on the bench. I do have Maddison on the bench as well. So let's just see. I am going to push these boys back to wing-backs, or to full-backs, sorry, on support. Just so we're a little bit more secure in the defence. And we are going to stay on control as well for the last kind of 5 minutes. Yeah, not the best start to the season. We've had very, very tough games. As I said, Man United, Tottenham, Stoke are obviously playing really, really well in this version of Football Manager, and of course Leicester haven't dropped at all in their ratings or anything like that. So no man down, but let's give the fans something to cheer for. Let's put in a really good positive performance in this second half. Goals are something we're finding hard to come by. We haven't scored that many this season. That jump up is massive. So goals 4, we've scored 2. Goals 4, 0, which is crazy. So we haven't scored a single goal in the league at the minute. We hammered by Tottenham. 0-0 draw against Tottenham, hammered by United. And we have a penalty. Conte giving away a penalty, shoved Cummins in the back. Cummins now is going to step up to score our first goal in the Premier League. Can he put us 1-0 up against former champions in Leicester? Stepping up against Zila. Cummins now, our top goal scorer last season. Cummins, Zila saved it. Would have been our first goal. I say we got hammered by Stoke, hammered by United, and we're 0-0 draw against Tottenham. So we need to score a goal sooner rather than later, because goals keep you in this league. Cummins now trying to head that down, but Leo's going to pick that up over to Anderson. We're playing better with 10 men than we did with 11. Zhao now going to pass it back to Forrester. Forrester, lovely ball to Kingsley. Kingsley pass it back to Zhao into Anderson. Anderson shoots, and what a hit by Jermaine Anderson. What a way to get off the mark for the season. Lovely, lovely goal. We did that against Preston in the EFL Cup, and he's done it here against Leicester at London Road. Let's see that back. Lovely ball over from Forrester to Kingsley. Cuts it back to Zhao. Zhao, first time ball to Anderson. Gets the ball out of his feet, and what a hit. Zila had absolutely no chance. 1-0 to the Posh. 10 minutes into the second half. 8 shots. We have, even though we've gone down to 10 men, we have taken command of this game. Leicester really haven't caused us any issues whatsoever. Forrester on a 72, 73. Coming into the last 5 minutes, let's make some changes. Cummins now is going to come off for Zach Clough. I'm going to bring off Forrester for Llorente. He's going to play that deep line playmaker role. And I'm going to put on Lookman as well. Going to bring him on the left-hand side. Very, very young wing attack. Adola Lookman and Leo Da Silva Lopez. Last 5 minutes of the game. Gray now with a free kick over to Musa. Musa about 20 yards, 25 yards out, but it has to go back to Duarte. Over to Conte. Gave away the penalty, but Teixeira, is he going to give Cummins a ball through? But no, he plays it just behind him. Cummins now to Forrester. Over to Zhao. Zhao, he's trying to take his man on, but Forrester's there just to pick up that ball. Over to Kingsley again. Kingsley's going to try and get that ball in, but too close to Zila. And Cummins didn't really anticipate that ball coming in. Zila launches it up to Zapata, but Baldwin big and strong in that header. Musa launches it over to Damari Gray, who's got pace to burn. Takes on Kingsley. Vardy, he makes it 1-1 coming into the last 5 minutes of the game. Jamie Vardy, always having a party, and that's 1-1. Let's see that. Let's see the highlight of that goal. The sending off has hurt us. Damari Gray now on this right hand side, taking on Stephen Kingsley, launches it in. Zapata knocks it down to Vardy. Vardy instinctive right-footed shot, and Wildsmith had nothing to come back to that on. Last kind of 30 seconds in the half, and that's it. Peterborough United 1, Leicester City 1. It is a very, very rocky road in the start of the Premier League season for us. It wasn't our day. The sending off did hurt us. Let's have a look at where we sit. So yeah, Man United lost 2-0. Tottenham 0-0. Stoke we lost 3-0. And Leicester we drew 1-1. So only scored 1 goal in the entire season in the league. We've conceded 6 goals in the league, but it does keep us on 16th. And our next game is against West Ham. We will be coming back though against West Brom. So we're doing West Brom and Watford. They'll be the next games that we show live for you. West Brom are just above us in 14th. Watford are just below us in 17th. So very, very important games for us coming up. As always, please do leave the episode a like if you've enjoyed it. I know the results haven't really gone our way in the start of the season, bit like last season, but if you have enjoyed the episode, please do give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more content. I do apologise for Monday, but going forward, Monday, Wednesday, Friday will be upload days. And until next time, which will be against West Brom and Watford, I'll see you soon.